วัสดีค่ะ Thank you for joining us on Newsline. We are broadcasting live on NBT, Radio Thailand FM 88, and on NBT World. It's Friday, February the 6th, and you're with me, Tra Chirakosan. Their Majesties the King and Queen have sent condolences to the President of the Federal Republic of Germany on the demise of Mr. Richard von Weizsäcker, the former German president from 1984 to 1994, who passed away on January the 31st. In the royal message, their Majesties extended to the President, the family of the former President, and the German people their heartfelt condolences on the sad demise of Mr. Richard von Weizsäcker. In the passing away of Mr. Richard von Weizsäcker, the royal message said the German people have lost a brave statesman who had devoted himself to the creation of peace and unity of the Federal Republic of Germany. And welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. In our first story, according to Transport Minister Prachin Chantong, preparations for the construction of a standard gauge railway running through Nong Khai, Korat, and Kangkhoi to Mataput is proceeding faster than expected. The next meeting between Thailand and the joint investor China is scheduled for February 11th until the 13th. China will then send its staff to explore railway routes in Thailand in late February rather than early March of 2015. He also mentioned the progress of Thai-Japanese cooperation in railway development. The Japanese Transport Ministry will propose 3 railway routes from which one will be chosen. The 3 routes are the 770-kilometer route of Mae-Sot, Pisanulok, Khon Kaen, Mukdahan, the 339-kilometer route of Phunam Ron, Kanchanaburi, Bangkok, Mataput, and the 653-kilometer route, Bangkok-Chiang Mai. A decision about the Japanese proposal will be revealed by Thai Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha on February 9th during his official visit to Japan between February 8th until the 10th. The President of the National Reform Council has discussed the restructuring of the organization with the National Anti-Corruption Commission. NRC President Tianchai Kiranan met with members of the NACC to discuss various issues and an assessment of the anti-graft agency. Mr. Tianchai said that he has suggested the NACC conduct an organizational restructuring study which will affect the agency's authority and work approach in order to bring it into line with the new constitution, under which the anti-graft agency will have to work with more independent organizations. Mr. Tianchai added that the NACC has been advised to come up with details of the restructuring process as suggested by the NRC. He also confirmed that the NACC will not be abolished as was being claimed in rumors. The Constitution Drafting Committee, or CDC, says the draft charter could be finished as scheduled a deadline, while affirming that there is no pressure following the Prime Minister's announcement on Wednesday. CDC Chairman Bawansak Wano confirmed that the charter drafters are not pressured by the Prime Minister's statement made after his meeting with 5 agencies. Mr. Bawansak expects the draft constitution to be finished before the original deadline or by schedule at the latest. Commenting on the general election, he said whether or not the election will be held earlier than scheduled is still unknown, given that there are many factors that need to be taken into account. He went on to say that public referendums will be staged prior to the promulgation of the new charter, as well as the acts to go along with the Constitution. The government will be enforcing a new law aimed at preventing civil servants from taking bribes and increasing public service accessibility. According to the Office of the Public Sector Development Commission, the law has been drafted to accommodate people and businessmen when they visit public organizations. The law is expected to speed up the entire process. The decision to come up with the law was attributed to the intricate nature of the civil servant service system, which often leads to bribery. According to the law, a handbook must be provided to the public indicating what they are required to do when seeking services from public organizations. After studying the handbook, people should be well informed what they are supposed to do before visiting the public service office. No civil servant staff would be allowed to demand from visitors any amount of money more than what is stated in the handbook. The officials are obligated to provide an explanation to the public should the paperwork take longer than 7 days to complete. The law will take effect on July 27th. The Ministry of Agriculture and agricultural cooperatives has successfully opened farmers' markets across Thailand. According to Apichat Pongsirit Dunchai, the assistant to the Minister of Agriculture and Agricultural Cooperatives, each province now boasts at least one farmers' market selling both local and international premium products. Only farmers are allowed to sell their farm goods at this market. They will be given a handbook which has been revised and the rules clearly explained. Certain goods will be selected and promoted at the market through a database of local products. The organizers of farmers' market will be required to undergo training in the near future, learning how to increase customer satisfaction, improve the management and the venue. The Thai Broiler Processing Exporters Association foresees a bright future ahead of the Thai poultry industry, believing it will enjoy an export jump this year. The Thai poultry export volume this year is expected to reach 6,000 tons, increasing by 6 to 7% compared to last year, during which the poultry export volume was recorded at 570,000 tons. Aside from operators' strict compliance with the international hygienic standards, the export growth is attributed to the Thailand-South Korea trade deal, which is due to come into effect in the middle of this year. According to the Thai Broiler Processing Exporters Association, Thai operators have all along taken consumer safety as their first priority, as witnessed in their production process, which is based on the requirements of the European Union and Japan, as well as the international standards. Importers also send their officials to observe the production in Thailand once or twice a year. To prove the quality of Thai poultry, the association voiced its readiness to clarify any doubts among people who are misled by rumors that Thai chicken meat was tainted with growth hormones. Kasikorn Bank is organizing the K-Home Loan Festival program to give home buyers greater access to loans with special interest rates available until March 16th of 2015. Mr. Tawi Tira Sunthornwong, the Executive Vice President of Kasikorn Bank, explained that in order to be entitled to privileges under the special program, the participating customers must register their mortgage with the bank by March 31st, as well as purchase the bank's Pitaksin Home Senior Life Insurance. Customers of the home loan program will be eligible for loans worth up to 90% of appraisal value and will be able to choose from 4 interest rate options. Those interested can submit documentation and apply at any of the bank's branches. Kasikorn Bank's new home loans in 2014 totaled more than 48 billion baht, with roughly 225,000 baht in outstanding loans. The bank has set an annual target of 49 billion baht in loans for 2015 and forecasts outstanding loans to increase by 6 to 8%. The Department of Groundwater Resources has been mobilizing resources to conduct relief operations for drought-affected provinces as the dry season continues to impact more and more regions. Statistical data from the Department of Disaster Prevention and Mitigation revealed that more than 2,000 villages across 8 provinces in the north, the northeast, and the central plains have suffered from drought-related problems. 8 provinces have been declared disaster areas in need of emergency assistance. These provinces include Sukhothai, Nakhon Ratchasima, Chayapum, Buriram, Mahasarakham, Sakolnakhon, Nakhon Sawan, and Lopburi. In response to the drought crisis, the Department of Groundwater Resources has dispatched officials and heavy machinery to drought-stricken areas. In order to dig more artesian wells, set up water distribution points, and install drinking water systems at schools. The department has predicted that the country will experience a prolonged drought, which is expected to affect 31 provinces across the country. The Tourism Authority of Thailand, or TAT, has projected that Thailand will welcome nearly 900 flights from China during the Chinese New Year celebration from February 18th until the 24th, bringing in over 530,000 Chinese tourists this month alone, an increase of 49% year-on-year. TAT is expecting to see around 530,000 Chinese tourists visiting Thailand during this year's Chinese New Year celebration, a 47% increase year-on-year, which is generating approximately 22.9 billion baht for the local economy, a 54% jump from last year's. According to the office, the number of Chinese taking an international trip is expected to double that of last year. It said Thailand is the most popular destination among Chinese tourists, followed by Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Macau. Meanwhile, Thailand plans to promote tourism by joining hands with various airlines opening charter flights in secondary cities in China. It also encourages Chinese companies to give out tour packages in Thailand as bonuses for their employees. TAT would also put an emphasis on promoting health and beauty markets, a new trend amongst tourists. A new tire testing center now under construction will allow manufacturers to certify their products are up to international standards. The center will begin operating in 2017. Industry Minister Chakramon Pas Sukhawanit visited the tire testing center owned by the tire maker Thai Bridgestone Company Limited in Ayutthaya's Wang Noi district in order to observe the ministry's new automobile testing center. According to the minister, Thai Bridgestone Center will allow tires to be tested under all conditions at speeds of up to 200 kilometers per hour. However, the facility is still unable to certify compliance with the United Nations Economic Commission for Europe regulation. The ministry's automobiles testing center will allow manufacturers to save at least 50 million baht spent per year on testing their products abroad, according to Mr. Chakramon. The center will also contribute to the integrity of the domestic tires industry. Mr. Chakramon expects the first phase of the automobiles testing center, which is geared towards the UN ECE R117 certification, to be completed in 2017 at the cost of 530 million baht. The minister said the entire facility will cost 2.85 billion baht when it is completed. The 27th Music in the Garden held by the Public Relations Department concluded yesterday after bringing yet another delightful and harmonious night. The event started at 4 p.m. at the PRD Conference Hall in Soi Ari Sampan of Phaya Thai district of Bangkok. The concert is, as always, free of charge. This time, the theme of the event was "I Will Wait for You as Long as It Takes." Highlighting artists were the prolific veteran singer Tik Chiro, multiple awards winning string singer Umaporn Buapung, Mom Rajwong Chirakom Kitiyakon, and the PRD's all-star artists. All performed and entertained their audience with their familiar classic and recent tunes. Ms. Umaporn stated briefly before the event she had long wished to join the ranks of those performed in the Music in the Garden, citing that it is overwhelming to get to see her fans again. She said she wanted nothing more than to bring joy to the people through her songs. Music in the Garden is aimed at promoting unity amongst people through the joy of music and live performance. Many well-known artists, as well as high-profile officials of the PRD itself, have taken turns to brighten the mood of the people by singing songs and dancing to timeless tunes. And that's the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. Before we take a quick break, let's have a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. The fifth core value: maintaining preservation of Thai traditions and cultures.
NBT World, a 24-hour English language television service operated by the National News Bureau of Thailand, or NNT, is designed to bring the most reliable information about Thailand to the international community. NBT World is available on various platforms, including via C-band set-top boxes, GMMZ Channel 202, PSI Channel 272, and a live stream on thainews.prd.go.th/newsing. You can also follow us on facebook.com/NNT News or download the PRD News EN application on your smartphones. NBT World, a vision of Thailand.
How could you do that to me? Stop it! Huh? Don't you get it? I don't need you anymore. Enough. We're through. There's someone else in my life.
Say no to the past. Bring your own bag. Say no to plastic.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. Indonesian President Joko Widodo and his wife Iriana Joko Widodo and several cabinet ministers arrived in Kuala Lumpur yesterday at the invitation of Malaysian King Tuanku Abdul Halim Muazzam Shah. Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak and his wife, as well as more than 100 representatives, welcomed the Indonesian delegation at the airport in Sepang, just outside of the capital, where they attended the official welcoming ceremony. This was Joko's first visit to Malaysia after being appointed as the president in October last year. President Joko is scheduled to hold a meeting with Prime Minister Najib later today. Jordanian fighter jet set off from a military base on Thursday, heading to a target Islamic State hideout. An armed forces statement said tens of Jordanian planes were deployed to destroy ammunition depots and training camps run by Islamic State militants. Members of the Jordanian military wrote, "Islam has no relation with you, and we are beating them" on the missiles before they were deployed. Military handout broadcasts by Jordanian state TV showed a number of explosions as airstrikes were carried out. Tens of Royal Jordanian Air Force aircraft launched consecutive airstrikes to demolish strongholds and holes of the terror organization Daesh. The aircraft attacked positions that include training centers belonging to the terror organizations as well as ammunition warehouses. All the targets that were attacked were destroyed and the aircraft went back to their bases safely. A security source told Reuters the strikes hit targets in the eastern Syrian province of Deir al-Zor and near the militant-held city of Raqqa. The show of force came 2 days after the militant group released a video showing captured Jordanian pilot Muath al-Kasabeh being burned alive in a cage as mass militants wearing camouflage uniforms looked on. Greece's new leftist finance minister yesterday said that Germany-led austerity for aid policies introduced in 2009 to shield the country from bankruptcy and a euro exit had not been implemented in display of solidarity with the troubled Mediterranean country. Speaking at a joint news conference with the German economy minister following blunt talks in Berlin with his powerful counterpart, Greek Finance Minister Yanis Varoufakis said the Greek people had not benefited from the aid package money. Athens' borrowing costs leapt and bank shares plunged following the European Central Bank's decision to stop funding the country's lenders. The ECB decision to stop accepting Greek bonds in return for funds shifts for the burdens onto Athens Central Bank to finance its own banks in a big setback for the government's attempt to negotiate a new debt deal with its Eurozone peers. Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras' 10-day-old government has said it will not extend a bailout program due to expire at the end of this month and has refused to cooperate with the so-called troika of international leaders. It has also said it will reverse some unpopular measures insisted on by foreign creditors and halt some privatizations, raise the minimum wage, rehire fired public sector workers, and restore a bonus for poor pensioners. Darth Vader and his loyal stormtroopers took center stage in Hokkaido's annual festival of snow and ice sculptures yesterday. The evil commander in Star Wars was in white, and many visitors were impressed. Organizers said the stormtroopers were created by some 400 Japanese self-defense force troops who volunteered for the month-long operation of piling up 3,500 tons of snow and carving it into an artwork of 15 meters in height, the biggest ever in the 66-year-old annual festival. The festival also featured aloft the snowman from Disney's animated hit Frozen and the snow sculpture of Xiangtian Temple, one of the most popular temples in Taipei, Taiwan, was among the 204 artworks in the festival. Now, the organizers said that hundreds of self-defense force personnel worked on the snow sculpture of the 8th century UNESCO World Heritage Kasuga Taisha Shrine of Nara, Japan for 29 days. Organizers expect the 7-day festival to attract over 2.5 million visitors, surpassing last year's 2.4 million turnout. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook. Just simply type in NNT or check out our website at thainews.prd.go.th/newsing. We're going to say goodbye with some footage of an elephant procession in Chiang Mai province. I'm Plat Hirako-san. Have a wonderful day. Swathi ka.